think I'm somebody who has a hard time paying attention to things that are not new. And so I've done a lot of different things along the way. And, you know, the way I explain myself to myself anyway is that I was the creative child of scientist parents. And so a lot of my career has been sort of a push and pull between using the creative part of my brain and using the analytical part of my brain. And companies have a tendency to want to employ me for the analytical part of my brain more than the creative part. And I have a tendency to want to live in the creative part. At university, I studied everything. And it was partially because, you know, I'd get part of the way through biology and I'd say, you know, economics looks interesting. I'd get part of the way through economics. I got 3 classes away from graduating in economics. And then I decided, you know, I think I'm going to be a fiction writer. And I graduated in literature with a focus in fiction. My team, which is a team that I proposed and established inside Google, is a team of process experts, process improvement experts, who provide process improvement services across all of people operations. So that's it. I mean, we basically were an internal startup that that goes out and wins business inside the company as consultants, and we provide consulting services around process improvement, and we also have a training program where we're training up and uplifting the knowledge of the organization in terms of process improvement. Well, I'll tell you the thing about Peppercorn is I feel like it's building a community where the community itself is something of value, which is, it's interesting. I mean, it's not that unusual. I guess that's what, you know, Facebook does. That's what LinkedIn does, is you start to build tribes and communities that are useful. So I think that that's one of the things that's exciting about Peppercorn. But also the more anything that takes us toward the decategorization of people, anything that gets more specific in terms of the individual, is something I think is very important to changing the way the industry works, and Peppercorn is doing that. Is they're saying working at our company is like this, but the truth is that working in different jobs inside that company are all different. It's not like you're working for, yes, you're working for the company, but the joys of the job are not at the level of the company, that they're the level of the work itself. And so we've come to accept that, which is, am I good enough for this job? And do I have the skills for this job? And so the whole conversation is about, am I good enough for this job? What Peppercorn, I think, as an entire philosophy has is, what do I want from work? You know, what am I really after here? What are the minimum viable attributes of the work that I'm looking for? I believe that employees are customers of every company. And as customers, they are buying a product. And that product is the experience of work. And so I believe that companies should be in the business of customer research, and then design and building of the experience of work. And so looking at the world this way, which is very different from the way most of the world looks at work. Most of the world looks at work as people are an input to production who need to be optimized for productivity. And so I'm saying people are customers and work is a product that must be optimized for their experience. And so we all think about work a little bit in the traditional way as well. The thing about thinking about work as a product, what I have asked people a lot is, what do you hire your job to do for you? And the reason I'm asking that question is that's a marketing question that you ask if you're designing a product, which is, what job do you hire this coffee mug to do for you? And the truth is, I hire it to hold coffee, but you know what? It also has a texture that I really like on the outside. It's not completely glazed. It's kind of silky. And so you ask people what they want, and And it's really important to ask yourself what you hire your job to do for you. And if you want to take the survey, it's at letsredesignwork.com. I have a survey out there that helps you to ask yourself these questions. So first of all, this is one of the things I really like about Peppercorn is that Peppercorn is very focused on self-understanding and knowing who you are and what you want.